Good morning, everyone. It's a great view from here, even without these fireworks. How many of you want to build a wonderful career? Can I have a show of hands, please? Okay. Most of you, some are still reluctant, but I thought that question was fundamental. Let me ask a more pertinent question. How many of you have a clear plan of action to build that successful career? Anybody? I expected that. From a young age, we are all asked to build competence, to build skills, and keep climbing the ladder of success. Three forces shape that journey: education, experience, and emulation. We study hard, we build skills, and we look at people that we admire and learn their skills. But hidden within these are different paradoxes. And that is my topic for today, the competence paradox. I come from a family of engineers, and I come from an era where there were only two recognized professions, at least in Kerala. You either became a doctor or you became an engineer. I wanted to become a doctor. I appeared for the engineering entrance, but merely for practice. I had even decided that I will skip one entire segment, but my cousin forced me to attempt it. And if I remember correctly, I was out of the examination hall in less than 30 minutes. Life had different plans for me. I passed the engineering entrance, but did not clear the medical one. And so here I was, standing in front of an admission clerk. Yes, it was before everything went digital. He asked me, "Where are you from?" I said, "From Kollam." He looked at a big list and said, there is one seat for production engineering at TKM College. Up for it?" My uncle, who was with me at the time, was also a production engineer. And he said, "Safir, take it. You'll be able to enjoy life." I accepted it. And here I was at TKM College of Engineering, not knowing what production engineering even meant. 4 years later, I graduated, still not knowing where to go next. A ladder appeared in front of me, and I started climbing. Competence is powerful. It helps us rise. But that is not where the problem lies. The problem is not competence. The real danger is competence without reflection. And when we don't reflect upon our success, upon our competence, three paradoxes emerge from within these competences. I call it the momentum paradox, the isolation paradox, and the identity paradox. Things that will change our choices, our careers, and our lives. Let us go through one by one. When we see a ladder in front of us and we start climbing, it creates momentum. We start to climb faster. And then over a period of time, we have invested so much into that particular competency or that particular skill that we develop. My previous speaker who spoke about the sunk cost effect. Here we see the sunk cost. We have invested years of effort, years of study, years of experience into gaining a particular skill. And then we are challenged because we cannot ask why. We cannot climb back because there is a lot at stake. So when we reach some stage, we realize that we have climbed the wrong ladder, or we have climbed a ladder which is leaned against a wrong wall. If you speak to your parents, you will recognize there are many such occasions in history. And I would like you not to have that kind of an experience. So what can we do? Something that I call the directional check. Every now and then, ask this question: am I climbing the right ladder? Am I climbing a ladder which is leaning against the right wall? Ask this question before you start climbing. This is an apt time for you to ask that question because you are not yet invested into your careers. Ask the question once in a while, every 6 months, every 1 year, so that you can take corrective action. We don't want to be in a situation where you are like an engineer who wanted to be an artist. You are like a corporate leader who wanted to be a teacher. You are like a doctor who wanted to be a writer. If you don't make those correct choices now, you will have a lot of sunk cost. An artist who could have created beauty will lose his life being a reluctant engineer. A teacher who could have guided thousands of people will be a corporate servant running after measly targets. A writer who could have inspired millions would be a doctor who is just going through the motions. So let that not happen to us. Let us ask the right questions at the right time. Let us do a directional check. So that's a momentum paradox for you. As we climb up the ladder, something else happens. As we gain competence, we will get recognition, we will get praise, we will get status. And then the room will subtly start to change. You will have fewer peers who will challenge you. You will have fewer friends who would tell you that you might be wrong. You have people who would look up to you rather than look across at you. And then when this happens, in your mind, things start to change. You are all alone at the top. You are isolated at the top without any friends or whom you can communicate with or who can challenge you. So what do we do in this particular scenario? Create a network. I call it the challenge network. Create a network of people who can challenge you at any point in time. Let those people have freedom to talk against you, to question you. As Richard Feynman once said, that if you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room. You cannot be isolated at the top. Now this can happen even in your college environment. You are the top ranking student. You are the best in arts or best in sports. So everything that you say is taken at face value because they expect you to know everything, to have the answers to every question. But that is not the fact. Every brilliant idea has a better one. So you need to have people who can challenge you at any point in time. So that is the isolation paradox, being alone at the top. And how can you avoid that? By creating a challenge network. One more paradox emerges when you are at the top. You might have climbed the right ladder or the right ladder against the right wall. But when you reach there, the language that you speak changes. Before that, I am an engineering student. I work in finance. I work in the medical profession. Soon that changes to I am an engineer, I am a doctor, I am a finance professional. That goes along with your identity. You create your own identity. And as you continue to invest upon a particular skill, your identity is built around that particular skill. For example, I am a speaker. I invest only in public speaking. So over a period of time, I come to be known as a public speaker without having any other skills. Now the problem in this case is that the world changes around you. Today, the world is changing ever so fast. Technology is being rewritten rapidly. AI is at the front line, and professions are being redefined. Careers that we thought we would have in the last 2-3 years are not there anymore. And when that happens to a person having only one skill, with their identities around that skill, the one question remains: who are you without that skill? And that's a very, very difficult question to ask. Today we see that athletes, when they retire, before that everything was about athletics. They became champions, but once they retire, they don't have anything else to do. CEOs, after stepping down, technologists, when the world changes, they feel so lonely out there without having anything to do. So what do we do to take away this identity crisis? You build your skill in one specific profession. By all means do that. But also acquire skills or different skills. Climb smaller ladders so that you have a fallback option at any point in time. You become an engineer. Become an engineer and a musician. Become a teacher and a mentor. Become a doctor and a writer. Or any other skill that you find useful. Create parallel competencies so that when you have to fall back on, you have other skills at play. We spoke about 3 paradoxes. We spoke about 3 reflections. The momentum paradox, when you climb up the wrong ladder. The isolation paradox, when you climb up the right ladder, but you are alone at the top. And then the identity paradox, when you climb up the right ladder, but you are defined by only one skill. Yes, these 3 paradoxes emerge. But do we stop climbing? Is that the answer? Definitely not. We reflect while we climb. We spoke about 3 reflections. We spoke about the directional check, the questions that we ask every time or before we start climbing the ladder, or every 6 months, every so often. Are we climbing the right ladder? Are we climbing the ladder that we chose to? We spoke about the challenge network of creating a group of people who can challenge us. We spoke about equipping ourselves with parallel competencies along with that core skill that we gain. Dear friends, we are living in a world of change. One skill is not going to help us. One friend or no friend is not going to help us too. Climbing the wrong ladder is definitely not going to help us. So the message that I want to leave you with is climb higher, but also climb wisely. Thank you very much.